Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look. Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do they thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
Hey everybody, this is former WWE superstar Al Snow, and you're listening to Wrestling IQ 101.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew alongside Derek.
You.
And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. And today, we're sitting with the Messiah of old school, Shawn Donavan, and the Bayonne badass, Dan Maff, sent to slaughter. How's it going, guys?
It's going great, man. Well, it's really cool to be here. See a little setup, and it's good to be here. This is my first one that I do with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm back for round two.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. I feel like honored because it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Sent to Slaughter, this is your first interview you guys are doing together. Is this the first one?
This is our first. Yeah, this is our first.
There's history going down right here, man.
If this doesn't go well, we could be victims number one.
we just pretty much launched our campaign, as you could say, yesterday. And like I said, this timing is perfect. We just we shot the feeler out there, for months, and we ran a couple trials, a couple matches here and there, and from day one, it clicked.
Yeah.
And like I said, we partnered up with #Dope Productions and Coltrane Mosley, who's a godsend. The guy's a saint, and
Johnny Ball. Worked at Dope too.
Right. They helped us out, and they said, "Listen, guys, whatever you guys need, let us know." And knock on wood, he's been our guy.
Yeah.
Right now, and we delivered this feeler out there, and we went out there, and I think it's got some pretty positive feedback, and we just want to see where it goes. And I feel
motion out in PA, and there was an opportunity for me to come out there with Maff, and there was an opportunity for us to team up, but we'd always follow a lot of the same style of wrestling, so we understand that old school style of working with wrestling, and hey, let's just see what happens. We'll have fun. And I don't think even he and I realized till we walked back to the locker room just how much we clicked and we gelled. I mean, there was just, we didn't have to say and talk to each other in the ring. We just give each other a look, and we knew what was coming. We knew what was next, and then the conversation just started happening. And I've said a couple of trials, and we feel like there's really something there that we can roll with. I mean, as good as he is in singles, and
can't get rid of him. I see him every day. We work out together. We tan together. It's like,
tan together.
We tan in the same bed. Well, there's a booth. No, not the same bed. No, he'll get there early, and he's tanning. Right, so there's two booths at the gym. And I'll go and I'll shut it off on him. I'll shut it off. Or I'll start banging on the door, and he texts me back, "Stop it."
Yeah, or I'll yell outside, and the people in front is like, "Why is this guy yelling in a tanning booth to stop?"
Oh, man.
It's kind of funny, because the last time we spoke, you were in the midst of destroying Pat Buck. And last time you talked, you were part of a tag team with Dirty and Durable.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how this is kind of elevated. You won the silver championship. I mean, you were in the midst of wrestling with legends, getting your butt whooped from the $1 Million Man and stuff like that. And
he was putting people over. That's what he was doing.
Doing business, man. I'm doing business.
When you won the silver championship, did you feel vindicated that everything that you were saying finally became realized?
It was a lot of hard work. When WrestlePro approached me and, put the silver title on me, it was a lot of pressure. It was a new baby, and it was also, the secondary title to the company. It's the silver title. It's not the gold title. So Pat basically said, hey, man, it's not the title that makes the guy. It's the guy that makes the title. So he said, I want you to, well, like any business, you have to have a plan, and he said to me, he says, I want you to elevate this title, make the title, and let's get it off and running. So I was like, all right, man, great. It's all you need to do is tell me, and I'm all in, whatever you need from me that's what you're gonna get done. And he said, I want you to have fresh new challengers, and boom, 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 and we ran with it. And no disrespect at all, to the gold title, but I feel like it was a goal. It was a matter of pride, and for the most part of the year, the silver title closed out. The silver title was closing.
Yeah.
The shows, and like you said, it's no disrespect to the gold title, but or its champion, which is Chris, and I love Chris Avery Cooling to death. He's a great performer, great guy, great friend of mine. But but I saw a matter of pride, and it was my duty, to take that title, elevate it, and make sure that when that next guy got it, it meant something. And
yeah, I remember when those shows would close out, the thank you Maff chants would always break out. You and John Morrison had a great match, or Johnny Impact. You and PCO. That's the last time I was at WrestlePro. You guys absolutely killed that. And then you and Bear Bronson. You elevated that guy. Oh my God, that was a crazy matchup you guys had at the Rec Center. And even you, man, you on the spot challenges, ladder matches. Been there with Falaba and Matt McIntosh and Anthony Bowens. How was it being put in that position, knowing that you were just inches away from grabbing that medal?
It's great to be in the ring with guys like that are homegrown stars with WrestlePro. So it's very, very appreciative to be put in that position to work with those guys, and that was something that I took very seriously because like I said, the last time you and I spoke, Michael Blake and I were getting the tag team piece off the ground, and unfortunately some personal things came into play for him, and he needed to step away from the business. And like anybody, if you want to stay involved in the business, you can't hang around trying to find a new tag partner, things like that. You have to go back to the well. You've got to use your resources, and you've got to reinvent yourself. And I was a single star before that, and I knew I could do singles again. I just needed to find that right piece of the puzzle. And, through guys like Maff, picking his brain, other guys.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
It's a lot of work.
And guys are saying, hey, what do I need to do? I'm going to do this. Maybe try this. And he'll shoot straight with me. A lot of other guys won't.
Yeah.
He's the realest guy that will shoot with me and will tell me, no, this idea sucks. Or no, this idea is good. Or, hey, you're onto something here. What if you twist it and make it better? And some other guys, too, that I picked a lot of their brains. So, to be able to reinvent myself and, being put in that position was not by design. It's me continuing to push and show what I can do in the ring and what I can offer WrestlePro and what I can offer the fans. And I think if you look at our roster, push comes to shove, myself and Bobby Wayward are neck and neck as far as it comes to how the crowd responds to us in that light. Obviously, Maff is in a different light there, but, and I pride myself on that. And that's what drives me, is that friendly locker room competitive competition. Who's going to get, I guess for lack of a better term, who's going to get booed worse tonight, me or Bobby?
Yeah.
So, that's just all part of being competitive in the business, just as competitive as Maff is of, being able to elevate the silver title like he did. That's just what we're made of in this business.
Nice. Now being such single stars that you guys are separately, do you guys think of yourselves as like more than just a tag team, like an innovative tag team, that this isn't just going to help you guys go after tag team titles, but actually help you guys individually in singles as well, as far as that, or is it just a tag team effort, you two together?
Let me go first.
You can start.
Well, I love tag wrestling. That's where I started my career.
Yeah.
And I was a part of something special for a real long time.
Yeah.
But like I say, there comes a time where, things run their course and you have to move on. And, he did the same thing. And, through trial and error, you have to try different things. You got to see what works, what doesn't work. You always got to have an open ear while having the pulse of the people, because the people is the most important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Without those fans, man, you have nothing. So you got to see what works, see what doesn't work, see what works for you. And you also have to have an open ear for criticism. You have to have thick skin. I always tell my guys this, and I have my guys, and I always tell them, I'm like, you may not always like what you're going to hear, but I'm always going to be honest with you. Yeah. You may not like it, but I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, because then I'm not your friend. Yeah. I'm going to give it to you raw, I'm going to give it to you hard, and I'm going to give it to you fair. But I'm being honest, and that's what we did with each other. And hey, listen, I told him, I said, look, man, this is what I need, and I said, it was one time Samu said, hey, listen, I have this match, I couldn't think of better guys, of a better guy to ask to come and work this match against us at the family reunion. I said, well, there's not another guy that I'd rather do it with. He said, who? He said, Shawn Donavan. He said, who's that? I said, I've never bought you shit. And when I bring you this guy and you see what we do, you're going to shake my hand. So I turned and I said to him, I said, I just put everything on you. I said, so we go up there, man. You better not fuck up. But no, we did, and like the first thing that we did, we had to get rid of his electric tape. We got rid of the electrical tape. You're not allowed to do that anymore. You're not allowed to wear like pink laces and stuff like that. And like pink loud colors are off the table. We're gonna be, black and white, man. We're gonna be shit kickers and ass kickers, and we're gonna be two bulldozers. We're gonna talk shit. We're gonna get heat. We're gonna be real deal heels, the old school way, the way it was ought to be.
Wow,
And
that's crazy because you're so colorful. Your outfits are always on point.
But if you're a heel, man, you gotta be. I'm a firm believer that if you're a heel, you gotta be black, man, black to the core.
Wow.
Black to the core. The baby face got all the cool colors, man.
Yeah, you always spot on every time, man. The boots, everything.
Thank you.
I should see his closets.
Yeah, I remember growing up in the rec center at JAP. Every time you would come out as the champion, always something different. Yeah. Every time, doesn't matter who you were facing, whoever was looking across the way, always on point. Even at those 3 letters that no one talks about anymore in WrestlePro, always on point, man. Every time.
It's pretty true. I feel like I haven't seen you wear the same thing twice ever. I don't think I ever have.
I couldn't say that.
It's like Rey Mysterio. I can't wait to see what you do in the ring and what you wear, man. It's always.
Dude, that's cool. You're just making it all worth it for me right now. Cause I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna tell the wife, listen, I got to get more stuff because
you got an excuse now.
Even you, Shawn, you've always changed your appearance and stuff like that. And
I think it's staying one step ahead of the game, and again, one of the things that, I think as I've gotten to know Maff over the long haul a little bit is that our careers in certain ways kind of mirrored each other a little bit through our experiences, same like him. I started in a tag team. But again, eventually things have to change. You have to evolve. You have to move on. And again, it's trial and error. The whole, and as he talks about being, you got to be black and white sometimes. You got to be that old school villain. I was in a different direction at that point. I was more of that flamboyant kind of a heel where I had loud colors, but, still were jaw-jacking with the crowd. But, after talking to Maff a lot about and a few other people, that wasn't me anymore, because you just started to see the real version of me really just start to come to the surface. And, I had no choice but to get rid of electrical tape, because he took all of it and threw it in the garbage when I wasn't looking. So, but that's fine. But you know what it is? It is. But you know what I mean? At the same token, I had been working on some different things, because it's funny, he was the first guy I went to, because I was really looking at trying to revamp my look, in a different way, because I was starting to feel a little stagnant. And, I just said, after 15, 16 years at that point, I had never worn short trunks. I'd always worn long trunks. So I said, let me just try something. And I got a basic pair, and first thing I did was I sent him a picture. I said, what do you think? I put the boots on, I put the whole kit and caboodle on. I took a picture like every other shitty indie worker right in their bedroom. And, I just said, what do you think? And he said, that's you.
Nice.
He said, that's the intangible that's been missing. So I started building upon that, picking him, a few of my other buddies, brains. And, again, the opportunity, came to work with him. And it at that family reunion show with WXW, and that really brought a different side of me out there. And I'm like, this is, after all these years, this is me finally, just being able to be me, and just not giving a shit anymore. Yeah. I'm taking what's mine.
Nice. Now, speaking of changes, I'm not gonna lie. You started to become really badass once you got that beard, man. When did you start letting this thing grow, man?
Like you said, over the years, and I've kind of like Maff a little bit too. Like, again, I've always wanted to stay one step ahead in changing my look. I'm kind of like him. I'm a gear whore. Always updating my gear, colors. Always thinking 6 months down the line, when is it going to be time to change my gear, my colors, different style, different ideas. Yeah. But at one point, a number of years ago, I had a full beard, and I kind of grew it out kind of bushy. But, I was always a real big fan of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, God rest his soul. Because, again, growing up, what got me into wrestling was tag team wrestling. Yeah. Heart Foundation, all those guys. And to me, at that point in time, 7-8 months ago, nobody in wrestling has a goatee like that now. He was the only guy back in the 80s that had a goatee that pointed. Yeah. And in growing that long beard I did a couple of years ago, I'm like, I wonder if I grew this thing out, that maybe the way I trim it, the type of chin that I have, maybe I can get it to that point. Yeah. But it just wasn't coming out that way. But at the end of the day, just the way I started looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, trim the sides, keep the front kind of bushy, and, I said, fuck it, I'm not even going to dye my beard anymore. Just let it grow. To have some of that gray in there, just kind of that salt and pepper look. Yeah. And again, I just started letting it grow, and it just fit my look. It just fit that old school, just bruiser look. And I said, I'm sticking with this. Yeah. And then I was looking for another change. I said, screw it. I looked in the mirror one day. I said, shave my whole head off. Yeah. So again, it's just like him and I talk. It's just one step ahead of the curve. Yes, yeah. I twiddled with the idea. Then I got to ask the girl over here, what do you think? Because he's gonna give me that. He's gonna give me that honest opinion of, yes, it looks good, or no, it looks like shit. Grow your hair back.
Yeah, true.
So for a guy like him, and again, I'm not blowing smoke up his ass, but this guy in the amount of years he's been in wrestling and I told him this in a car earlier, you will forget more than most people ever learn in this business. So if there's anybody that would want to pick his brain, I'm going right to the source right here. Yeah, true. So and he's helped me a lot throughout my career, and I think that's what's also helped our cohesiveness in doing this tag team piece, because as we talk more, we start to realize we follow the same guys we came up with in wrestling as far as who we studied. Yeah. We have a kin for that certain style of wrestling. And, so it's a credit a lot on his end.
Nice.
We get along well.
That's good. That's the first part to it, right?
Well, I think that's kind of crazy, because at North Plainfield, you guys are wrestling each other, and also in Edison. Yeah. How does it go from beating the crap out of each other to now teaming with each other? Is there like, you know, like
those are great matches.
yeah, they were. They
Well,
were.
those
He
were-
almost broke the barricade.
Those were 2 matches, right? 2 matches that we did. There was 2 matches that we did, and it's something we always talked about because I really, first and foremost, I'm a big fan of his. I always was. I'm sorry. I saw him at the WrestlePro school, and the first thing that I admired was his old school grittiness and the way he sold and the way he put things over. I said, hey man, you kind of remind me of like a bunkhouse buck, like Terry Funk, type of deal with some Arn Anderson thrown in there, and he was like, really? So I got his attention because I guess that's what he was really, that's what he was digging. And, and I approached him differently. Like everybody's like, oh, the moves and stuff. I like your footwork and I like your mannerisms and how you grab somebody. And nothing's quiet. Everything's loud. Everything's a loud slap. Even when you grab someone to pick them up, it's something physical. It's not nothing easy. It's something physical. Your demeanor is very deliberate in that ring. I said, I like that. It's things you can't teach. And we just started like talking back and forth, and then it was like it turned into, hey, oh man, you go to this gym? I was like, yeah, and then started working out, and then the workouts, like it was just we were talking more and more and more about wrestling, and then you get to know each other more and more and more, and then it was like you start becoming fans of each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I really dig what you did in this match. I did what you did here, and then we had a chance. We always wanted to do these matches. We always wanted to work each other. I was like, listen, I really want to work you. I think I want to work you too, but who the hell's going to book it? So I forget the name. Dan Ram. Dan Ram gave us two shots at it, and we did it. We did it there. I'm happy we got it there, and I'm happy we did it. I wish the crowds were bigger.
Yeah.
Because those matches were freaking awesome.
Yeah,
they
it
were
was
great.
awesome. I remember that barricade like coming at me. I was like, oh man, I'm glad I'm a little couple
dive
rows
to
back.
the
Yeah, I was like, damn. I was like, you guys almost. I thought one of you guys were definitely hurt. I'm glad to see that you guys are okay.
Like I said, it's like those matches that we wanted, and we did them, and it's just you wish that it was in front of like a sold out rec center or something, but it wasn't. Those matches are there and they can be done again. They
In the right context,
They can be done again if done right. But right now we're just really focused on Sense of Slaughter and where it's going and where we're heading. I have a couple other small things that I have to take care of, but it's nothing's gonna veer me. For 2019 and Sense of Slaughter.
Let me ask you this: you recently, in that video that you put out, I mean, you called out LAX and the Briscoes. I mean, you've had history with these guys for a long time, and you essentially just let the whole tag team division know on the indie scenes that you guys are coming.
No, we're here.
No,
we're here.
Yeah, you're here.
We're here. Like a lot of people may not like it, but we're here.
Yeah.
What made you call out those two teams specifically, Briscoes and LAX?
Because if you're in this game, you don't call out the weakest guy in the room. You call out the biggest dog in the room. I want LAX. That's the best of the best. If I can't be in the ring with the best of the best, I don't belong in there. If I can't be in the ring with the Briscoes, I don't want to be in there. I want to be in there with the best. I'm calling out the Young Bucks.
Wow.
I'm calling them all out. Bullet Club, everybody. Cody, everybody. Kenny, Cody, everybody. They're all getting called out. Everybody.
Yeah, I remember, watching, LAX with Homicide and Hernandez throwing people against the walls of the rec center. Are you guys going to be like that rugged style? Or are you just going to keep that in the ring and or we have to wait to find out?
Come to show and find out. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I mean, there's nothing that we said in that promo that wasn't fake. It's all real. You know what I mean? There's a lot of reasons, like he said, why we haven't gotten our break, and it's because we are that good. And look, there's a lot of politics in wrestling, and guys are going to use their friends in certain ways, but at the end of the day, the cream always rises to the top. And as much as I love singles wrestling, as much as he loves singles wrestling, we both grew up on tag wrestling, and I believe that still in this day and age, it is a lost art, tag team wrestling. And it doesn't have to be about today's style of that high flying and all these crazy double team moves. That's not the shit that we do. We're just, like he said, we're rugged badasses. You know what I mean? We're legit in that ring and the way we do things. And I dare anybody to find a tag team out there that looks as legitimate as we do in a wrestling ring. Everything from our gear that is very professional, the way we handle ourselves in a locker room, the way we handle ourselves out in front of a crowd. There's nobody in wrestling that is like us. And I guarantee you there's probably nobody else in a long time coming that will probably look as good as us in the ring. And we're only just getting started. I'm very confident in 2019. That's our focus, 2019, is getting this bad boy going. 100% full steam ahead. We're focused on tag team wrestling and the magic that we can bring. So
listen, if you want to talk about, the elite right now in tag team wrestling, of course, you have the Usos, you have the Revival.
Fuck those guys.
You have all these teams up there that are doing their thing, but I'm talking about on another scale. You're talking about where the hard work is really, really done. You got Homicide, and you have Hernandez. You have Ortiz and Santana. Right now there is nobody better. Nobody better. That's a machine right there. I mean, there's nobody better. Listen, that's where it's at right now. Mm-hmm. The Young Bucks. There's other guys out there. We haven't forgotten about them either. There's other guys like the Graysons. There's other guys like the Ducks, like Bear Country, like Private all these Party. Other teams, Private Party. They're going to get some too. We're going to get to you. Or we're going to get to all of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
We're going to get to all of them.
Yeah, OVE too, same with that. There's
OVE too, everybody, when we say you've all been put on notice, we are not playing around. They have all been put on notice. Yeah, we're going to get to you. Yeah. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get to you, and you better show us some respect. You better pay some attention to us, because if we got to come to you and get your attention, you're not gonna like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So what keeps you guys motivated? Do you guys still feel at this stage in your careers that you still have something to prove?
I have everything to prove every day. Every day. One more rep.
Yeah.
One more rep.
Put it this way, there's we talk about it all the time. We work out. There's some of the workouts that we do. There's not a lot of guys putting that same effort in the gym. And look, we're not bodybuilders. We're not cut up with abs, type of shit. But you know what? We're putting in the work while a lot of people are still sitting at home, and they're emailing fucking promoters willing to work for $5 on a hot dog, all that type of stuff. But they're not putting the work in outside, and that's what keeps us going, because. Again, it's all about your look too and how you can go in the ring. Mm-hmm. He takes off that vest, I take off my jacket. I'm sorry, we look like professional wrestlers. We look like we are going to eat your ass for breakfast. Yeah. And that's what keeps me going every day, because I still got something to prove. Yeah. He still feels like he has something to prove. Mm-hmm. And that's what keeps me going every day, because you know what? At the end of the day, there are kids or guys that are out there in tag division that are younger than us. That's totally cool. But they're also those same guys that can't go like us. Man. Don't matter how young you are, how old you are, you better be able to go. And he and I can go all day long in the ring. Yeah. And that's what proves us, that's what sets us apart. And that's what makes me want to go every day. Because I still got something to prove, after all these years. And it doesn't stop. And I think our passion is still there. Mm-hmm. My passion for wrestling is now more than ever, I think, is at an all-time high. There's not one moment that goes by that I don't eat, sleep, breathe, and shit this business. I study it 24/7. I'm watching new things. I'm sending him matches. He's sending me stuff. Mm-hmm. It's our love, Where a lot of kids get into this business, they don't have that same love and that passion. They see all the the flips and the dives and the moves, and they think that's what professional wrestling is. It's not. It's a story. It's the emotion. And you're talking to a master right here when it comes to intensity and emotion and what he can bring out of a crowd, like Maff can.
Yeah. So something that's also interesting to me, you said every tag team's been put on notice. You're part of a historic tag team, one of the best tag teams ever in the Hit Squad. You now...
I'm calling them out, too.
You're in a different stage of your career.
I'm going to call them out, too.
You call out the Hit Squad.
I can't call them out.
You're in a different stage of your career now. Sent to Slaughter. Your old partner, he's at a different stage in his career now. He has a new tag team partner now in Magic, legendary Magic. Are they on notice too? Is everybody on notice?
Everybody's on notice.
Everybody's on notice. Simple. That's all I need to know.
I'll tell you a funny story. It's kind of, because again, I grew up on tag team wrestling, and even as a fan, I always tended to follow the indies a lot more. And, he started obviously a couple of years, prior to when I did. Mm-hmm. And even when I was still a fan, I was going to Charity Hall in Bayonne, and I was watching, I guess what you would consider the mid to early days of the Hit Squad while they were still well formed. And, I would go with a buddy of mine, and man, these two guys walk out. And I'm scared shitless. If there's anybody that walked out of the locker room that was more legit than Steve Mack and Dan Maff, just throwing guys in the walls. Mm-hmm. But I was drawn to them because it wasn't a character. Yeah. These were real badasses that you did not want to mess with. So, again, the opportunity to go to WrestlePro, first guy whose brain I'm going to pick is this guy. Yeah. Because I'm such a fan of his work. I have been since even before I got into business. And that's where I think a lot of that chemistry is there too, is just being a fan of each other's work. And when you have that, sky's the limit. So, like he says, everyone's on notice. Everyone's on notice.
I'll say this.
Can't wait to see that.
It's not easy,
Yeah.
Because you can sit here and say, yeah, I want this, I want that. But at the end of the day, it's the fans, that they have the driver's keys. They're sitting in the driver's seat. It's the fans. We just can't show up at a show and say, hey, we're gonna work these guys. Like, it has to be a promoter that has to think it's gonna work. Yeah. And say, okay, well, we're gonna do this. It's up to us, and this is real talk. It's up to us. It's up to Shawn and Danny. To get this thing off the ground, get it running, get the word out. Have good matches, build a rapport, and, just keep having good matches. Keep setting
setting the bar.
Setting the bar and setting your own path, and so you can build and finally get to the LAXs, get to the Briscoes, get to teams, like Santana and Ortiz, get to the Homicides and Hernandez. Get to the OVEs, get to these guys, because that's where you want to be. If you don't want to be in the fight and you don't want to be out there rubbing shoulders with those guys, with the cream of the cream of the crop, then get on the other side of the guardrail, man. Stop wasting all our time. Stop wasting everybody's time.
Yeah. If you're not going to bed getting excited, thinking about what these matches can be, and feeling it, or just sitting there talking about it. He and I sit there, we talk about the things that we could do with some of these guys in there, and I'm going to say plain as day, it's like getting a heart on. Like, it's getting excited. You feel it. Yeah. As we talk about it, you can feel it. And that's what drives us, because I know what he and I can do in the ring, and I know what he and I can do against some of these other teams, and that's how we're going to knock those doors down. We're going to start showing people exactly what we can do in there. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of barriers we got to break through. Yeah. But we're going to break through them one match at a time. We're going to make people take notice and say, I need these guys in my promotion. Yeah. I need these guys in my locker room. because we don't just bring legitimacy inside the ring. We bring legitimacy to a locker room too. You know, we want to be the guys that when we walk through a locker room, everybody takes notice.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I was backstage at JP. I was so intimidated standing next to you and Maff. I mean, Mac, because just the reputation, I guess, and knowing that you guys are such. There was a wall behind me too that I could probably have been faced, and I was so nervous. I was like, "These guys are." I grew up watching you guys, you know, destroy people at JP, and it's crazy. Now that this tag team is formed, you know, I'm worried about those wrestlers across the ring from you, and I don't want to see them get destroyed like that.
So, someone just said to us recently with that they said, if I didn't know who you guys were, and I saw the way you guys stood in the ring together, I would have thought I was walking in dead to rights, about to die.
Yeah. Like, you know, when you entered the cage at the anniversary show, I was like, damn, I don't want to see, you know, Homicide and Loki, like, be brutalized. And but they brought the fight to you that night as well. But looking at you two guys now, oh man, I don't envy your opponents one bit, at all.
I think Maff would agree with me. Yeah, we want that intimidation factor, but we want that respect factor too.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah.
But that means that intimidation factor means we want you to come ready to go. Because if you're not ready to go with us, we're just going to eat your ass alive. And I'm sorry, that's, you know, to me, that's an old honky tonk man saying either we're all going to look good or we're going to look good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we're not here to play games.
Yeah.
This is serious business. This is not, like I said in the promo too, this is not some short-term concept that people think we're going to tag for a little bit and go our separate ways. No, people have no idea just how passionate we are about making this work, because it's not just a team too. There's never been a name like that either for a tag team.
Yeah.
And I think it just speaks volumes.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful mission statement that you guys are sent to really, you know, cause some pain.
We're here to do the devil's dirty work.
That's one way of putting it.
that name was, I give that credit, that name was all Maff. That just came out in just a conversation. We're talking about different things, and that just came out in a conversation. I said, that's it. That's the name.
Nice.
Can't be anything different.
Yeah. You know, that speaking of like the intimidation factor, I remember the first time I met you. I know you don't remember. It was a long time ago. And this is like I was working back in Jersey Gardens, and you came into one of the stores and shopping. I'm like, is that Dan Maff? I'm like, that's Dan Maff. But you know, anybody who knows Dan Maff that doesn't know Dan Maff is like, yo, you don't fuck with Dan Maff. So you seen him, and I was like, excuse me, sir. And you're like, yeah. And then I was like, are you a wrestler? And you're like, yeah. You didn't even look at me. You're like, yeah. And I was like, do you mind if I get a picture with you? Then you smiled. And you're like, yeah, of course. And I was like, I want to kill your character. But I was like, he's such a nice guy, man.
Was this at Nautica?
This was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was. It's so funny. So I was like, it's so funny.
You had a better first time meeting him than I did. See, I had the wrong impression. I met his ass when I first met him at the same gym we worked out at. I'm like, oh shit, that's Dan Maff.
Yeah.
And we had some mutual friends of ours, and of course, you know, nobody likes to be bothered when they're in the middle of a set at the gym.
Yeah.
And I introduced myself to him, you know, told him, you know, I'm a wrestler too, and, you know, big fan of his work, and, you know, a couple friends of mine, and, you know, the way he responded was very nice. I'll give him that. He wasn't a jerk, but it was basically, get the fuck away from me. I am trying to grow these arms as big as they can be. But it was funny because then I kept seeing Jim. Hey, how are you? You know, and then it just, you know, and then when it was the right time to come to WrestlePro, and things kind of just took itself from there. But, you know, word of the wise, if you see Dan Maff at a gym, do not come anywhere near him while he's working out.
Gorilla like space.
Yes, he does. That's a tweet.
I remember I used to run up to like the barricade to see you at the JP shows, and then whenever the matches used to break up, I used to follow whoever it was in the crowd, up the bleachers. There's times where I remember I took like a snack tray that like somebody threw, and I just took the snack tray home. I was like, this is awesome. Like, and then like Teddy Hart one time did a moonsault from the apron, and he landed on the chair. He was still going for homicide, and I took the broken chair home. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I just couldn't get enough of those places, and watching you guys kill it. But one of the most impressive things I've ever seen was that you did the burning hammer to Fallah Bahh. I mean, how was that? You know, because he's a big guy. I mean, I'm sure you picked up other people, but how was it hitting the burning hammer on him? You know,
There's different stages of follow.
uh-huh.
There's followed by at 420. There's followed by at 450, and there's followed by to be continued. You know, I have a funny story. The first time that I picked up follow by was in practice. It was actually a setup. It was before a show, before the day of the show, and I was like, listen, I want to pick you up for Burning Hammer, but I don't want to give it to you. He was like, first of all, how am I gonna get up there? And he got real serious. He said, first of all, brother, how am I gonna get up there? And second of all, how am I getting down? Right, that's Brandy.
Yep. Very serious.
I said, listen, man. I said, do you trust me? He said, yes, but not how you're talking to me right now. I said, okay. I said, just get up here. We'll figure out how you're going to get up here later. But just get up here. Let me pick you up now. So when I picked him up the first time in practice, the initial sound that I heard was, oh my God! Because he was never picked up off his feet. And I don't know if you've ever been in a position where you're laying on someone's shoulders and your hands are, you're basically laying dead. It's pretty intimidating. And I just walk around with you. So when I picked him up, like everybody, like everybody's, you hear the hammer, you hear the wrenches, you hear tape, you hear this. It's a full setup. Everybody's working, the whole production. And when I picked up Fala, I call him Francis. When I pick up Francis and I have him on my shoulders, it's like everybody just stopped.
You hear a pin drop.
Wow.
And they said, okay, oh God, okay, now put me down. Put me down. So I just went, okay. And I put him down. He says, how fucking strong are you? Jesus Christ.
I can lay claim because I've known Fowler since day one. He started wrestling. He has never been picked up like that before because no one can pick him up like that.
Yeah.
So for him to be in that position, it can be for anybody. But for a guy his size who's used to being the big guy, him picking him up.
Does that help your bond? Because you guys are part of the Dear Good Friends.
Yes.
What is that for people who don't know what Dear Good Friends are? I mean, besides just a social media account, it looks like it's a real growing beast, right?
It's a real thing.
It's a family.
We love each other. It's a band of brothers. Our kids play together. Our wives know each other. We babysit each other's kids, and everybody. It's like we have Thanksgiving together. We have Christmas together. New Year's together. We try to vacation together.
We're a family. We spend more time around each other than we do a lot of other members of our own legitimate families because that's how close we are. And again, it's just something that just comes together where you just click with people on the same level. And even though what brought us together is pro wrestling, we all have a lot of the same interests universally outside, and that helps our relationship grow. Like I said, I come over his house and his youngest daughter calls me, Uncle Dipsy. Yeah. And I'll sit there and play games with her and talk with her. And that's a bond that you don't get a lot in wrestling because you meet a lot of guys in locker rooms, you won't see them. Yeah. You'll see them every now and then.
Or you come over at midnight and we'll have a 5-course dinner.
Yeah, come home for a show. I mean, but that's a respect factor there, and that's a humbling respect factor to be in one of your boys' homes at midnight and their wife is there to serve you a hot meal. Yeah. That doesn't happen with everybody, you know what I mean? And there's only a select small group, and to be a part of that circle, in my eyes is something very special. That's a group of friendships that I will take to my grave someday. You know, I will take a bullet for any of those guys in that group, just like I know they would take a bullet for me. And we look out for each other, not just in the ring, outside the ring.
I made a lot of relationships at WrestlePro. You know, friends with people who I'll be friends with, you know, forever. You know, Pat Buck and his wife. You know, Kevin Matthews. I've known Kevin for probably 20 years, but I really got to know him here. Craig Steele. You know, his son is my godson. You know, no, it's the bonds that happen, you know, and the relationships that you build. You know, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
I dare
you trust people and you bond with people. You know, it's awesome. What are you saying?
No, when you say we are WrestlePro, we're a legit family. You know, we're all very close. I would put our locker room against any other locker room, and how many guys are as close as a family. You know, and I think that's what helps us keep going with WrestlePro and trying to make that something bigger, is because we're all family.
Yeah, we get on each other's nerves a little bit every now and then.
but we want to see everybody succeed, though, and that's the thing. The more we all succeed, the more the brand succeeds. But like you said, you grow those relationships with people on a friendship level. You know, where else on New Year's you're gonna find 85% of the WrestlePro roster in his kitchen, down in shots of, you know, Fireball and Patron and all that, because that's we're a legit family, you know what I mean? And it's that Three Musketeers saying is one for all for one, and that's, like I said, I would put our locker room up against a lot of other locker rooms and how close knit our locker room is compared to others.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to, I guess I should ask, do you ever like feel like how important you are to wrestling in general?
No.
Or WrestlePro, because even like when I'm pretty sure you got young kids that want to pick your brain and get advice, and then you got someone like Shawn Donavan sitting here, a veteran, that comes to you and picks your brain for advice. Like, how does that feel to you to like just know like, or do you even realize it, like how big a part you are?
I'm just a normal guy, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a normal guy trying to blend in. I'm trying to have the best matches I can.
Yeah.
And try to fly under the radar as much as I can. Yeah. And, you know, if you don't like me, I'm sorry. You know, you don't know me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to kill you with my smile. I'm not going to argue back with you. I'm going to kill you with my smile and good performances. And if you like me and if we get along, hey, great, man. You know, let's like conquer the world together, man. Let's have fun. Let's smile. Let's eat. I love to eat. You know what I mean? Let's eat, man. Let's drink and let's have fun. You know, and let's smile, because, you know, tomorrow's never promised.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know when my last day out here is gonna be. You know, I don't know. I can leave here now and it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow's never promised.
It's true.
You know, I don't know, but maybe Shawn's a better guy to ask that question to than me, because
I could easily answer.
He tells me that all the time, and I'm just like,
I do. I don't think he realizes from an in the business perspective how many people know who he is, and how many people have asked me, "Oh my God, I see you. Know, damn, who is this guy? Like, how do you like? How is he? Like, how is he? Is he approachable? Things of that nature." He does it, and most people probably wouldn't realize how much of an impact they've made to others, you know, in the business. And I tell him that all the time, and I know he finds that hard to believe. But, you know, there is a special nature of him, because there is nobody out there that is like him.
Yeah.
You know, guy walks through a curtain, commands attention, commands respect. You know, you guys, you sit in the crowd, you watch shows. Mm-hmm. How many guys who walk through that curtain really feel that special? Yeah. There's a certain aura when he walks through a curtain.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and for fans, but I think more so there is an aura of him behind the scenes. Like I said, he walks into a locker room, commands attention, and it's because of where he's been, what he's done, the level of matches that he's had at such peak levels, you know, like I said, and you know, I wish more guys would attempt to pick his brain. Like I said, the game is a little different now in wrestling. It's not the way that it used to be. And I don't think the young kids in locker rooms pick the veterans' brains as much as they used to anymore. And if there's one guy, any young kid in the locker room should make a point of going over and introducing themselves and asking them to watch their match, would be this guy. But a lot of times he'll go out of his way and he will watch matches just to see what's going on, and he'll genuinely give you some real feedback. Like you said, you might not like what he's got to say, but he's going to shoot straight with you because he wants to see people succeed. You know, so yeah, that's how. And I know I say that, but that's how a lot of guys in the locker rooms feel about somebody like Maff.
Yeah, I mean, every guest we've ever had on has always said something positive about you, always thanked you for giving them advice and stuff like that. You know, rival promotions. I mean, they've always have said wonderful things about you, and I think that's a testament to your character. You know, like you was just saying. I mean, I couldn't imagine a wrestling world without Dan Maff and Monster Mac. I mean, you guys literally changed tag team wrestling, and we're just grateful that you even decided to come here, and even you, Shawn, you know, with this experience that you have, that you guys even decided to come talk to us, and we really do appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you giving us the opportunity, you know, to get this thing, you know, out there and try to share it with as many people as I can.
Yeah. Every little bit helps, you know. Everyone plays a small part in the growth of something, and
it's not easy. Listen, I'm not saying by any stretch of imagination that Sent to Slaughter is gonna, you know, rewrite the history books and we're gonna wrestle on the moon and all that stuff. What the future holds, I don't know.
We just want to.
But what we want everything in the world in it. You know,
we want to make our mark and leave a mark.
When I last saw you wrestle, it was against Grimm at Battle Club Pro, and you grabbed the microphone, and the fans were cheering "Fuck Father Time." You know, and the next night you had Jimmy Havoc. You know, those are some big time matches. You know, Mr. Grimm is no slouch, and Jimmy Havoc, of course. Do you still have that desire or you, Shawn, for singles career, or now it's just tag team all the way, or just once in a while break out that singles competition?
I mean, listen, I love wrestling. I think the beauty of what we do is that you can step out of character and you could be who you want to be. When I walk out there, when I hear that music and I walk out that curtain, I leave all my problems. Man, I'm whole. I'm like, I'm in heaven. I'm where I want to be. You can't hurt me. I can't be hurt. I can't get sick. I can't get hurt out there. I feel so safe, and I'm surrounded by the fans that love me, and I love them. So it's like such a euphoric feeling that the other side is awesome too. You know, where you can be a heel and you could be that guy that came to the village to burn the whole village down and, you know, vandalize every church and throw all your Bibles out and rip all the pages up, burn the whole library, burn all your books. You know, it's like, but it's so good to be that way. But it's also so special to be able to do both. You know, I love being that baby face, that fiery baby face, you know, and I love what I do, man. And there's certain things, like when I go to Battle Club, when I go to these places, I go with a chip on my shoulder because I have a lot to prove. I'm the old dog that has to still, I'm walking through the yard. I always say, hey, look, this is my yard. And I really believe that. But I got to keep that yard. Like, you just don't walk around just saying it's your yard, people. No. Every once in a while, there's going to come a dog that's going to try you. It's going to test you. And you gotta show your worth. You gotta show them, no, this is my yard.
Yeah,
Not yet. Not yet. This is my yard. But like I said, like, I love doing the singles thing. I love doing the Santa Slaughter thing. I have some things like that I really need to take care of at What Wrestling. It's been an unbelievable ride up there. It's been a legendary run up there. I'm actually undefeated at What, and I'm fighting AR Fox. First time ever, for the What title, and those are other things that I got to do. I'm in the process of, I'm still on the hunt for the silver title, but I've never held the gold title at WrestlePro, and if I ever get a hold of that gold title, God help the tag division, because there's nothing that I would want more than to be a Triple Crown champion and hold. That'll be the only title that I ever held, was the tag titles. And if you want me to team up with WrestlePro, I'm not doing it with anyone except the man to my left right now. Because this guy knows what I'm doing even without me. All I have to do is look at him.
Yeah, I feel bad for like Team España or
So
the Heavenly Bodies or any tag team in WrestlePro.
CPA
Breakfast Club.
I couldn't agree any more with the stuff that Maff said. I think, again, we're at different points in our careers too. To me, I look at still, I know I'm the guy that's right there. I'm the guy that's, same thing. I'm looking to show people, hey, I'm the sleeper in anybody's locker room.
I just wrestled on Impact.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. How was that?
Amazing experience. It wasn't something that was planned. It was just an opportunity to say, hey, okay, they put this in front of me. And, after, almost 2 decades, I just went out there and I just did what I needed to do, because 2 things are going to happen. I'm going to walk to the back afterwards, and I'm either going to shit the bed or I'm going to walk through that curtain and I'm going to turn people's ears up and make people open their eyes. Yeah. Because I got nothing, to lose. And I walked through that curtain, and I opened up people's ears, and I turned on people's eyes.
Not too many people are as comfortable as this guy is once the cameras are on. It's like the more pressure of the situation, the more relaxed and the more calm he is. He may tell you he's worried, or he might piss 100 times before his match, but he's as cool as a cucumber. And that's what's special, because I'm the same way. It's like, no matter how much the pressure is in the situation, you're walking into this thing and man, it's fucking big. And I'm just like, I'm whistling right to the graveyard, brother. It's like, how can you be so calm? It's like,
it's because confidence, and it's all those years of experience. And, I will tell anybody.
But I'm nervous.
Yeah,
I'm nervous as hell. But I just happen to look calm.
All I just say is I sit there and he and I talk. He said it will come. When those opportunities come, I got nothing to lose. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to make you remember something about me. Yeah. And that's how I am. I want to go out there. I want to have the best match on the card. I want to go out there. I want fans to remember, hey, that guy is the biggest scumbag I have ever seen. But damn, he commands attention. Yeah. And that's how I am now. I'm just like him. There's a euphoric feeling. You could have, I could own 4 dogs, and you could have chopped them all up, and I will still go out there cool as a cucumber, because you can't hurt me in that ring.
And when it comes to like character, do you guys see it as you guys just being yourself, or because like I'll say when like you, like who you remind me of when it comes to like heel work and face work. You remind me of Taz. It's like Taz is like a legit. He's like a, but no, he's a legit. That's who you remind me of. He's like a legit badass, and it's like you respect him as a face, you respect him as a heel.
I love Taz.
Yeah, and then with Shawn, it's like I told you this last time we talked. I told you like when it comes to heels, like I think like you, Bobby Wayward, even Eagles Ricos, and like The Miz are like the 4 people that you can't like them.
That's the Mount Rushmore.
You can't like them, yeah. You just hate them no matter what.
You know what it is, and it's not anything to say that I wouldn't mind that good guy run, but I'm naturally an asshole. No, I am. I am the guy that likes to poke the bear, and I like to keep poking the bear.
Yeah.
And that's me with a crowd
Or a gorilla.
Yeah.
or a gorilla. I like to poke the crowd because here's my thing with wrestling, and I know we're in 2018 and things are different in society now, but I'm sorry. There are very few real, legitimate heels left in wrestling because nobody wants to be a heel.
Yeah.
There's that gray area. A lot of guys, even as quote-unquote heels, they want to do all these cool moves, and they want to get that indie reaction of this is awesome. I don't want any of that shit. I don't sell merchandise.
Yeah.
I do none of that because my job when I walk out there is to be the biggest piece of shit you have ever seen.
Yeah.
That's my job, and whatever that promoter wants me to do that night, that's me, and that's me being real to who I am, because who I am now is really what I am. It's just me with the volume turned all the way up. Yeah. And I want to be that. I'm not afraid of quote unquote real heat.
Yeah.
I want to be the guy that you want to take a full Pepsi can and throw at me in the ring. I'm the guy that you want to find my car in the parking lot and you want to slash my tires.
Please don't do that to us.
But at the end of the day, if you want to do that, that means I did something right. I got under your skin in a certain way. And I don't think that the
I'm going to send you to the bill if it's my truck there.
That's fine. I will pay the bill. But, there's not too many guys that are in wrestling now that want to be that guy. I've never been afraid of that legitimate type of heat. Yeah. Because I don't think the envelope has been able to have been pushed like I know it can be in a long time because of how wrestling has changed. And I get it. The TV product has to be PG or PG-13 because yes, there are sponsors and obviously you have to answer to somebody.
Yeah. And
even still on the independents, you have a promoter, you have to answer to them. But if they're willing to put something on you, and yes, they have limits, there's still ways around it. But I still feel like there are not very many legitimate heels in wrestling anymore that are afraid to push the envelope like I know I can. Yeah. And I know he's the same way in a different way.
I tell you, Super Crazy Pro in Philly. Mm-hmm. This man made a quadriplegic stand up out of a chair
and take off his shirt and want to fight
you. Oh my goodness!
Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy. I think a lot of times when people don't realize, I think they just realize like being cheered is like a good thing, but they don't realize like getting heat is a good thing too. It's a reaction from the crowd.
Some promoters get scared.
I'm not afraid. Yeah. I'll fight anybody and anybody in that crowd. If I'm gonna get my ass kicked by 10 fans, I'm gonna go down swinging. Yeah, yeah. And I'm still gonna talk shit afterwards. But that's what it is, man. It's about doing your job. Yeah. And again, that I left fans that night. They remembered something. Yeah. This guy made a quadriplegic stand up, take off his shirt, and want to fight him.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
But that's the beauty of wrestling. What we do is an art form that a lot of people don't realize. Yeah. It's not about the moves in the ring. Yeah. It's about the story. It's how we can make you feel as a person. Yeah. It's how we can make you feel leaving that building. I don't remember anything else but Dan Maff. Holy shit. Yeah. If anything else on that show was fake or scripted, this guy's the real deal. True. That's the way it has to be. And if we do that, then that means we've done our job, we've earned our money, and we've done right by the promoter. True. Of bringing that person in and doing business of what they asked of you to do.
Funny story. A little side note. I was at the tapings for Impact about a month ago, 2 months ago. About 2 months ago. And this big, giant, I don't know what, all I saw was everything get dark around me. And I felt, boom, I felt something just grab me from behind. And when I looked up, it was Abyss. I was like, oh my God. He said, he's holding me. He's like, brother, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in such a long time. And then when he turned me around, he put me down. He turned me around. He says, holy shit, it's Maff. I thought you were Taz. That's why we were laughing.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
Dan, one last question before we ask you guys what your social media is. Who's ducking you more, Brock Lesnar or Delroy?
Delroy.
You guys are still ducking. We still talking about Delroy?
Delroy,
When's this match gonna happen?
Delroy, where are you?
Delroy's hiding behind his newborn.
Delroy actually has a beautiful son,
Yes.
Daniel, and he's he's taking care of things. He's taking care of what he got to take care of. He's one of my favorite students, and he's a good young man, and he'll be back. And when he's back, he's just gonna have to get a partner now, but we're gonna do our thing.
So, guys, in closing, where can people get you on social media if they want to connect? If they want to be part of the Dear Good Friends movement, where can they find that too?
You can find me. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, once in a blue moon on Snapchat, all at Shawn Donavan 01. You can follow Dear Good Friends. We're just on Instagram at Dear Good Friends. So if you want to see the gorilla in hibernation asleep, if you want to see the gorilla yelling at dogs and ducks, if you want to just see some wacky stuff, the colorful side of some of us sometimes.
Life on the road.
Life on the road, you know what I mean? Road drives, that's where you can find us. Maff will tell you where you can find him.
You know where to find me.
Sometimes he's a little out there. But he's Danny Maff on Facebook, Danny Maff _WrestlePro on Instagram, and he's got like 7 Twitter accounts that I can't even keep track of. So, but yeah, just type in Danny Maff on Twitter, you'll find him. I don't think he's on Snapchat because he's not as gracious with technology as
I don't understand
some of us
stuff.
are. So,
Oh, man.
but where you want to find him, just look at any promotion that's got his face on a poster. Come watch his work.
Right, next Saturday will be at Pro Wrestling Magic in Ridgefield Park. It'll be me and Pinky beating the holy hell out of each other for the Magic title. You can find us, of course, especially at our home promotion, where it all started, where it all began, where it's all about. It's WrestlePro in the Royal Way Rec Center. You can look for me at Super Crazy Wrestling. You can look for us at
You guys gonna be at WoW, right?
At WoW. You can look for us
USA
at what?
Pro.
At USA Pro. We're all over, and we just try to keep busy.
Just wait till 2019. You're gonna find us everywhere eventually at some point, and I'll call promotions out. Chaotic Wrestling, XWA, you name it. We want to be there. We will be there eventually. So
Definitely.
that's our goal.
We really appreciate you guys coming out. This is a very humbling experience for us. We really appreciate the great Dan Maff here, the great Shawn Donavan
Thank
here,
you for
both
having
together at the same time.
Thank you for
Really
having
appreciate
us.
you guys giving us the honor to do your first interview at Sense of Slaughter.
Thank you for the opportunity to have us on.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
guys for everything, for entertaining us, for all those matches.
And above all, thank you for all the support through the years.
Yeah.
That means the most.
Yeah.
And good luck with this. With this wonderful thing that you guys have built here.
Wrestling
And I hope that
IQ
this
101.
grows. I hope that this grows. I hope it gets bigger and bigger. And I hope it's successful because I had a great time here.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
And for us, we are Wrestling IQ 101. You can follow us on Facebook at Wrestling IQ 101, Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. And you can listen to us on YouTube right here, or you can follow us on the B Plus Player. You can listen to us anytime across all forms of social media they have.
And we are out.
Thank you guys.
You have just listened to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast, powered by B Plus Player Radio.
One more for the good guy.